Production.
Principā Supru mēs būvēt ļoti gribējām, bet mēs tā kā arī baigi negribējām viņu būvēt. Un, kad tā Supra nonāca pie mums darbnīcā, protams, mašīna īstenībā baigi labā. Man patīk, žēl, ka mēs viņu nedabūjām bišķīt vairāk pagonkot, arī kādu gonciņu uzbraukt, jo pēc viņas tām visām asistentu fīčām, ko varēja sajust, likās, ka viņi īstenībā diezgan braucami ir, ka viņi bišķīt ir tāda tā kā advancētāka attiecībā pret pārējām ielas mašīnām. Kad sākām jaukt viņu ārā, izjaucām kaut kādās, 3 dienās, sapratām to, ka ir šausmīgi daudz vadu mašīnās, šausmīgi daudz plasmasas uz viņu, bet tā jūs visi modernā autobūva, tā arī sastāv. Un, protams, tas viss ir ļoti daudz, kaut kur jāliek, un tas viss praktiski mums arī, var teikt, ir nepielietojams šam projektam. Pēc tā visas mašīnas agregāta demontāža un tā tālāk seko virsbūves pārbūve, lai mēs sāktu izveikt kaut kādas virsbūves korekcijas un sākt dzīmēt ārējo vizuālo noformējumu mašīnai, kā saucamās plasmasas, lai mēs uzzīmētu, mums nācās virsbūvi, protams, noskanēt. Un arī šo modeli mēs noskanējām arī mazliet vairāk, izskanējot no iekšas, no apakšas, un lai mums vienkārši būtu daudz materiāls, ja mēs gribam pie kāda mezgla pastrādāt, ne tikai pie ārējā vizuālā, bet arī kaut kur kādu kronšteinu uztaisīt vai kaut ko paskatīties piekarē, kas kaut griežās un tā tālāk. Tāpēc šo virsbūvu izjaucot, mēs viņu pilnībā apstrādājām ar speciālu tādu krītu un tika noskanēts 3D skaneri. Mums būtu tas materiāls, ar ko vēlāk strādāt.
Yeah, and here we got to the point where we start to install the Y-swab, and we realized that the front arc is not enough big for the 18-inch wheel, so we have to a little bit free up the space and cut out some steel, and now it works well. And afterwards we're working on the fuel cell placement, and on this specific car we decided to install in the middle of the car for the weight balance, and also at a certain point the customer wanted us to do that instead of having it behind the rear axle. Some guys are saying it's an advantage, some guys doesn't think it's a big advantage, but it's up to every single project, and so on this one we're gonna go with the mid-placed fuel cell. We had to modify the steering rack position since we've been using BMW E90 steering rack on all our builds, Eurofighter, E46. This is not the exception, and for new Supra we're doing the same way. We're installing the E90 steering rack, because originally Supra has electric steering rack, and definitely that's not what we want to use. New Supra has the aluminum struts for the front shocks. This is another one important thing that needs to be improved, so we added a little bit strength on it. When we finish work with the front end, we start to install the roll cage. It was drawn on the PC. I think very cool design was made for the door bars. Usually we do it on our Eurofighters in NASCAR style. Here we just made some changes, and I think it turned out really good, especially with the HGK name on it. When roll cage was half done, we had to decide the place for the dry sump oil tank. We decided to put it behind the passenger seat, so it have enough space to mount it because we are using ARE 3-gallon dry sump tanks. And as well, that's the good spot to have the weight if we count or if we take into account the weight distribution of the car. When we finished working on a chassis for 50-60%, we send it over to the OCT Composites, where they've been spending a lot of time on modeling and installing the body parts and creating all different kind of solutions like the headlights, the rear air duct, smoke kit, and many other parts that needed some serious modifications. After a month or two, we got the car back from the OCT. They did all the measurements and all the pre-work so they can keep or continue working on the body parts. And then we finished the roll cage, some other things here and there on the chassis. And once that was finished, we sent the car for the painting. So basically, once we will get it back from the painting, that will be the point where we start to assemble the car. As usual, this is the signature of HGK. The interior paint tone is silver. I can't tell you the code because I don't know. I can find it out, but I won't tell you. But in general, it's McLaren silver. That's the color code that we are using for all our builds for the interior and chassis paint. We already got some body parts that we can install in the car. Not all of them, but some important ones. And then we did some live streaming with Russia, with Nikita and Russia Toyota, so we can show the progress of the car.
Yeah.
Šai jaunajai Suprai interesanti ir tā priekšdaļa ar to, ka viņai ir alumīnija lonžerons un amortizātora statņu atbalsts, kas ir pielīmēts un sakniedēts kopā ar pārējo virsbūves daļu, kas ir no metāla, konkrēti tērauda. Protams, mēs to visu esam vēl atsējuši, ko reglaments mums ļauj ar drošības karkasu, kas, pastiprina, jo nācās mazliet pārtaisīt šīs vietas, jo citādi nav tas riteņu pagrieziena leņķis. Kā arī ļoti atvieglo darbu un kas ir manā uzturē ļoti interesanta un laba lieta, kad var saglabāt oriģinālās sēdekļa stiprinājuma vietas. Viņam kā roadster tipu mašīnai, tas sēdeklis ir pietiekami uz aizmuguri, kad atliek tikai izgatavot pareizs kronšteins, kas atbilst sporta sēdeklim, un mēs varam stiprināt pie oriģinālajām vietām, kas ir kā nesošās detaļas virsbūvē. Viņš tur lonžerona aizmugurējo daļu un arī visu to virsbūvu kā stiprina. Šai mašīnai arī bija iespēja saglabāt oriģinālos stūres kolonnu, jo viņi ir alumīnija, pietiekami viegla un nav nekādiem liekiem elektromotoriem, visām pārējām štelēm, un kas ļauj arī izveikt kaut kādu regulējumu, ja tur pilots mainās piloti vai ir kādi citi iemesli paregulēt to visu. Tas ir arī diezgan labs iegūms, jo tas iekonomē laiku un kaut kādas ir izmaksas, ka tu vari jau tā kā izmantot esošas lietas. Tieši šai mašīnai ir sēdekļa stiprinājumi, vietas un stūres pozīcija. Vienīgais nācās pārtaisīt, tas ir, protams, kulises un aizmugurējās rokas bremzes vietas. Tā kā šai mašīnai tie priekšējie lonžeroni, alumīnija viegli un pārējās visas lietiņas, kā jau driftā, tiek pārnestas uz aizmuguras. Tas ir bākas, sausā kārtera, tovers un radiators atrodas tieši aiz pilota sēdekļa, kurš arī ir ļoti tālu pie pašas maksimāli uz aizmuguri. Līdz ar to mēs tā kā visus tos svara agregātus, kurus kaut kur vienmēr jānovieto, esam nolikuši tieši uz riteņa asas aizmugurējās. Pat ne aiz asas, bet tieši uz riteņa asas, kas arī ir ļoti, manuprāt, baigi pateicīgs tā virsbūve, ka viņai viss atrodas uz tās aizmugurējās asas.
At certain point we start to make our own radiators, because until then we were using CRR racing radiators, but for some reason they turned into the size that we use. They somehow came out that this is a custom size radiator, and the price rise so high that we decided to built our own, and in this case we don't have to deal with the sizes that factory offers, but we are making exactly maximum possible size we can fit in a car. And so every chassis has his own size, either it's GT86 or E46 or Eurofighter or new Supra. It has his unique size radiator for the maximum cooling, which is very important for the drift car. This is the very first car where we have the freshly just the portion ride of quick rear change differential from the Winters, and finally we managed to kind of make our own HGK line quick change differentials, and I like the style, so you can perfectly see. And I think the 6-bolt rear cover is very more common than the 10, because to change the final gear you just need to unbolt the six bolts instead of 10. So from now on I think we're only gonna use this type of differentials. Nikita decided that we are the ones who is working on the chassis, the hardware part and the body part, and technical wise it was mostly done in Ukraine. The only cool thing that we sent along with the car was the 2JZ front motor plate that is made for the easy access to all the utilities around the engine, and as well easy dismounting and mounting in case if you need to do it in a race weekend in a pit. So that makes the things much easier. After a few months, the car was back from the Ukraine. It was running, everything technical-wise was okay, and we had to spend some months or more to finalize all the body parts, because with the first fitment it didn't fit really well on all the angles. So that's the most not easiest part to fit all the body parts, because on the PC it looks externally okay, but when you need to mount everything together and fit the gaps so it looks really nice, then it becomes a challenge. And there was 4 or 5 spots where we need to adjust the body parts, like the front fenders, the rear fenders, but all that thing was solved. And after a whole year, 12 months, been working on this car full time, I think it turned out really good, because this is the very first complete body kit for the new Supra. It's not just the flares or some lips or splitters. This is the full carbon Kevlar body kit, and this is designed by HGK, and this is the result what we got, and I'm really excited of the result, and hope you're gonna enjoy it too.